Hello everybody. Not exactly sure what is going on today. I just know that I'm going to be making a little bit of money with Uber and DoorDash and trying to avoid some rain. It looks like the rain is getting ready to come in, and I noticed that a lot of people have their awnings out facing this way. Normally when the rain comes and the wind starts, it comes from that direction. And so you have to kind of figure out which way the rain's going to come, which way the winds are going to start. And normally they come from this way, but today it looks like they're coming from the Atlantic Ocean instead of the Gulf of Mexico. And I am debating, since I am going to be out, if I should put my awning up or not. Because once the winds start, that thing turns into a parachute. But this guy is gone. He left his awning out, but his is newer. It looks more retro and older, but it's not. It's just the paint job. But his awning is definitely one of the newer hydraulic, nice looking ones. But a lot of the people on here, awnings are in. There's only one other one, and that is down there. Just little things you have to think about before you leave your campsite and go out to make money. Is it gonna rain? Are the winds gonna kick up? Should I put the awning in? You know, I just don't want to come home one day and have that thing blown and ripped off the side of the RV. That happened to Steph stuck in a truck actually once. And Cousin Eddie, I've been living in him for like 3 years now. Really minimal damage, and I've been pretty up on keeping an eye on the awning. Just not sure what to do today. It's 105 degrees out, which means the ocean's really hot. It's going to create some wind, and you know, I'm going to go make some money, and I'll just keep an eye on the clouds and the weather. And if it starts to get too bad, I'll rush home real fast and I guess put that thing up. Another thing about awnings and living in Florida and having to deal with the weather, you usually put lights and stuff, right? On your awnings, hang lights and little sound good things. So when the wind blows, you get some cool sounds. But if you have to put the awning up, then you have to take the lights and everything down. So it becomes a whole chore. I'm going to go out and make 20 bucks, 30 bucks or something, and I'll come back and check on it, just in case. Oh, and if it does blow, maybe I can make enough money to replace the awning if it does break, just by delivering pizzas and McDonald's. Well, it was a pretty good day. Didn't do too bad. Went out, made about 50 bucks, and called it quits. Came back to order pizza and just eat. Now, this isn't where I got my pizza. This is where I got my drink. Thank you, Subway, for always taking care of us DoorDashers and Uber people. But I was trying to think, what sort of video do I want to make today? What could I do that is informational, could actually help people out, and help a lot, not just certain people, but also help those of us that do the same thing that these certain people do, that they don't know what they're doing. And I thought to myself, EV charging, right? EV charging. Car rental companies renting out cars, not explaining to the people out there renting these Polestars and other vehicles what to do, what apps to download, where to find chargers, how to initiate a charge. It is putting a strain on the stations until we go full-blown gas station quality EV charging stations. It is, especially here in the Orlando area, it's just hectic. So I thought to myself, you know what? Why not put out a video for people that are flying into Orlando or any other airport across the country, renting a car from Avis or one of the other companies, and the car just so happens to be electric. What do you do? And the reason I'm making this video is because I've talked to quite a few people flying into Orlando, going to Disney, going to Universal, driving to the beaches, but the car rental companies never tell them any information. They just say, here's the key fob to your car. And what good is that? They get low on battery. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to look. They don't know how to pay. If there's a free chargers, they don't know if they go to Electrify America or EV Go, if they have to pay. They don't know if they do have to pay, how to pay. So that's going to be the topic of this video. So those of you that are not in the EV world or have not driven an EV, bought an EV, rented an EV, this could either help you or, you may not even be interested. So just for reference, this is going to be a short video on what to do when you rent a car, never driven an EV before. What steps you should take right when you get off the plane, go to the car rental place and hop in the car. This is what you do. So on most of the cars that you're going to rent, like the Polestars and Chevy Bolts and things like that, most of them have a charge port right up front. Usually it's right around this area. And it has what you call a CCS charging. The reason I'm pointing this out is, this is not CCS. This is J1772, and this is CHAdeMO. My car has two different chargers. Neither of them are CCS. I cannot charge with a CCS charger, and you getting a car that has CCS cannot use CHAdeMO, but you can use 1772. So there are different chargers, and it just depends on what one you're getting. If you're getting a Tesla, you know you're going to have that one specific plug. You're going to have a Tesla socket, and you could charge it all the Tesla superchargers or destination chargers. Destination chargers for Teslas are free. Superchargers, they do charge. I don't know how much Tesla charges to charge a Tesla, but those of you renting a Tesla from the airport probably already know what it's like to have an electric car, or you've driven a Tesla before, or you just wanted to try it, and you're going to stick to that network. But cars like mine, the Chevy Bolt, the Polestar, the new Mustang Mach-E, all those, we all use different chargers. And between those cars, my car, the Nissan Leaf, is the only one that has CHAdeMO. Now, I have came up to my chargers locally and seen somebody that was renting a car from Avis or one of the companies trying to take a CHAdeMO charger off the plug out, and they were trying to put it in their car and it wouldn't work. And there's a reason for that. You can't fit a square into a circle, and that's basically, the CCS is kind of like, well, it's more like a triangle, and mine is a complete circle. So if they're different shapes, don't try and match them up, because it just won't work. It just doesn't work. Okay, so what we're going to talk about now is you're gonna go ahead and look at what kind of charger you're getting, and most likely it's going to be a CCS charger. Now, there are numerous networks out there. Just like if you were going to a gas station, you have Chevron, you have Shell, you have Mobil, you have all these different companies, all these different gas stations, 7-Elevens, whatever. Each one of them has a different card. You can't use a Shell card at a Chevron. You can't use a Chevron card at a Mobil. Very much the same way electric car charging goes. You can't use an Electrify America with an EVgo. Those are two different networks. So you're going to want to download each specific app for each charging network that there is. So if you know that there's going to be a lot of Electrify America chargers, which usually are always in a Walmart parking lot and at a lot of Love's truck stops, you're going to want to download that app, Electrify America. Now, if you're going into inner city areas, a lot of the malls and stuff like that have a company called EVgo. You're going to want to download that app. If you're, I don't know what it's like in the rest of the country, but here in Florida, we have Duke Energy, which is owned by Shell. So you're going to want to download the Shell app. And it was Green Lots, now it's called Shell Recharge. You're going to want to download that app. Some of them do charge, but a majority of the Shell chargers are either extremely cheap, like 15 cents, or they're totally free. You know, you're going to be hard pressed to find a Shell Duke Energy charger that is above 15 cents. So a kilowatt hour. Most of them are free, and you'll find those at like public libraries, hotels, city courthouses, and places like that, and pretty much all across the country, from what I understand. But those are the main apps: Shell, Electrify America, and EVgo. Now, if you're on Disney property or if you're going to a theme park, most theme parks and some city utilities and stuff like that use a thing called ChargePoint. So ChargePoint is good to have. So keep that as your, at least fourth charging scenario. So instead of credit cards, you're going to want to download apps. This is how you're going to charge your car, is with your phone. You do get physical cards on some of them. ChargePoint can give you a physical card. Shell can give you a physical card. EVgo can give you a physical card in tandem with your phone. So let's say you're in an area that doesn't have good cell service and you can't activate the charger. You have a card you could just tap, and it's an RFID card. You just tap it and it does the same thing the phone app does. The only thing you're going to be missing on is when you're charging your car, it shows you the electricity that's going into your car, the time you've been charging and everything else. And if it is a paid pump, how many, like 30 cents, 60 cents, $1, whatever, it'll show up on your phone how much you've spent so far. So the apps are the way to go. But if you have time before you come on vacation or go anywhere and are going to be renting a car, you might have enough time to go ahead and order a card. They're free. Just order one. It comes within 7 to 10 days before your trip. You got it. Stick it in your wallet. Keep it as a backup. I do not know why the car rental companies do not explain how to activate the pumps. I don't know why they don't tell you what type of charging you have, if it's CCS or CHAdeMO or a 1772, which is the round small one, which you can use in a CCS also. They never explain it. I've come to so many charging stations with a Polestar sitting there and them standing in front of the pump just staring at it, not knowing what to do, how to do it. And then you usually, as somebody that drives an electric vehicle, usually have to get out, walk them through the process, tell them, oh, you need this app or whatever. And then if they already have the app, how to plug in first and then open the app and show the pump you're on, touch it, and start activation. A lot of people just don't know how to do that because the car rental places don't teach them. So think of it as gas. Instead of putting your credit card in the machine and pulling it out and then pump and press on what grade of gas you want and then putting the nozzle in your vehicle, you just do basically the same thing with electric, except you plug in first. The machine talks to your car and says, okay, I'm connected. And then you start just by hitting the start button on your app. It's that simple. And a lot of chargers you go to, you don't even need to do that because so many are free across the country. You just plug it into your car and it starts. You don't have to do nothing. It just works. And those are the easy ones, but you have to hunt them down. And the best way to hunt them down, PlugShare. There is an app called PlugShare. You download that app, and it doesn't matter what companies, what gas stations, or in this case, charging stations. It doesn't matter what company it is. Let's say this was for gasoline, it would show Mobil, Chevron, Shell, 7-Eleven, Wawa. It would show all the gas stations, but this particular app is just for EVs. And I don't know if you guys can see from here, but just in my area, look how many chargers there are. They're just everywhere. And all you do is, like, say, here's one right here. This one, I could touch one. It tells me this is at a Target. It has CHAdeMO, so I know my car can charge there. It has CCS also. So if I want to know where it is, I just touch it. It gives me all the information on the charger, lets me know if someone's charging at the moment, how many plugs there are. And then it also has user comments. Like this one here, Lucid Air just charged 10 hours ago. Someone said 350 station limit by charger, 91 kilowatts, was getting 135 until other car pulled up. That happens because sometimes the electricity could be shared by two cars if two cars are charging at the same time. Makes sense. But you can leave comments of how the pumps work and stuff like that. And then you could check in and you can add a photo of your car charging, and then you can leave a comment, the pump's working good, the pump's not working so good, had an issue, and that lets other drivers know what's going on at that specific station. And then you could start your charge from that app also. But you have to have the other apps. You have to have the Electrify Americas. You have to have the EV Goes. You have to have the charge points, the Shell green lots. You have to have all those already on your phone. They all coagulate into this app, and you can just pretty much go through the whole United States. I mean, look at the United States. Hold on a second. Get rid of that one. It's just loading up. It's loading up right now with charging stations everywhere. So anywhere you live, this app is perfect. So whether let's say you're taking an airplane to Chicago and you're going to get a rental car in Chicago, and your rental car just so happens to be electric, you're going to want PlugShare to find the nearest charging stations. The green ones on the app, they're the 1772s. They're slow charger. They're for like if you're going to the grocery store, you plug in, you go do your grocery shopping, you come out. It keeps your car current. It doesn't really boost it up crazy. It's not a fast charger. It's just, it may take 4 hours to charge your car from 0 to 80% with a 1772 charger. Or longer, I don't know. I don't use them very often. But the orange ones are the fast chargers. So if you got to go and go and go, and you don't have time for a slow charge, you go to the fast chargers. If you're going to stay at night at a hotel, the hotel has a 1772, and you're going to be sleeping all night, plug into the 1772. By the time in the morning you wake up, you're going to have a full charge, and you can go about your day. So that's what those little ones are for. Don't, I just wish that these rental companies would either make a pamphlet, or at least when you go to rent the car, they'll sit you down for 10 or 15 minutes with a list of applications you should have on your phone and what to do once you get to the chargers. But they just don't do that. If they just made a little pamphlet and handed it to you when you rented the cars, I think that would take, it would take a lot of the headache out of renting an electric vehicle. On that note, I'm going to mention one more thing to those that are probably planning on renting an electric car. It takes a long time to charge some cars. My car's pretty fast, charges in about 30 minutes. I only charge at 50 kilowatts an hour. So I have a 62 kilowatt battery. It takes about 30 minutes, and you only charge up to 80%. Never charge up to 100, because the electricity starts slowing down in your battery the higher the battery. It's kind of like your cell phone. You get the fastest charge to the halfway point, then it starts to slow down. Keeps your battery cool. It doesn't keep it heating up. It starts to kind of slow down a little bit. And after 80%, you may have jumped from, like, say, a 100 kilowatt charge down to 7 kilowatts. There's no reason to stay plugged in if you're charging below 20 kilowatts. Once your charger says 20 kilowatts, go ahead and unplug and split. Otherwise, you're just hogging the spot. Issue is, electric charging stations are not like gas stations. There's not numerous pumps. There's no Buc-ee's in the United States of the electric charging world. Hopefully one day that'll happen. Hopefully Buc-ee's will put in 100 chargers. But at the moment, most sites have between 2, 4, and 6 chargers. Just depending if it's a Walmart or something, you know. Like our Walmart only has our Walmart has 6 chargers. Which is okay. It's okay, but only 3 rows. So if a car's parked in a row, he's hogging up 2 chargers. Another car can't charge. So they need to separate those out a little bit so 2 cars can charge, but they don't. So you only get like 3 rows. So 3 cars can charge at a time. And if people are just staying plugged in and people are lining up to charge, you know, they're on their way home from work, or they're on a long trip and they need to get a quick charge to get to Tampa or something like that, or they're going to Miami and they need a quick charge, and someone's sitting there plugged in for 4 hours when they should only be there for 20 minutes, it is a problem. Most of the people I know here in Wildwood, Florida, in Orlando, Florida, in Tampa, Florida, all the locals that drive EVs, we all know you charge to get to the next charging station. You don't, I usually get about 200 miles worth of charge, and then I unplug. I don't need 250 miles, I can knock that out at home, plug it into my RV. So I can get like 200 miles and then come home, plug my car in, get that extra 50 miles at night when I'm sleeping or sitting out here having a sweet tea or something. So, and that's the way you got to look at it. Do not hog the chargers. Our infrastructure isn't built for that just yet. So charge your car to 80%, unplug, let the next person get in and charge. It's a courtesy. That's all it is. There's a different courtesy for EVs than there is for gasoline. And if you have a gasoline car, don't park at a charger. You're not getting electricity. That's like me going to a 7-Eleven, pulling on the fuel pumps, and some cars coming in running out of gas, can't get gas because I'm parked at a fuel pump. Yeah, don't do it, man. That's not cool. Anyway, until the next time, I'm going to go ahead and sign off, get this video up. Hopefully this helped a little bit. Don't be afraid to ask questions if you are renting a car. Watch some YouTube videos. If you watch YouTube videos on EV etiquette or on how to charge your car and what apps to have, you'll probably be more knowledgeable than the people renting you the car. The people that are renting you the car, I don't think they know anything. I think they're just trying to get you in the cars. And it's just not a good look when the world is changing to EV. It turns people off when they don't know what to do, and they make it difficult, because it's really not difficult. I want to say common sense, but I can see where it isn't sometimes, but it is basically common sense. If you think of how it should work, is exactly how it works. And so don't be afraid. Have fun with them. You're going to love them. I do. I'll never drive a gas car ever again. Well, I might have to one day. I can't say never. But I'll never own one. I can tell you that now. Until the next time, I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and finish this drink and maybe go have a slice of pizza and chill out for the night. Until the next time, I love you guys. Stay healthy, stay happy, and I'll see you on the next one. Man, those cicadas got loud fast. Peace out, everybody.